Thank you very much for still being here with us. Let's dive into the first conversation for today. And we're talking about one of Nigeria's most influential, call it the oldest influential party, which is the People's Democratic Party, once a dominant force, if you ask me. And we're here with one of a prominent member of that force, that party, PDP. I want to talk about the recent crisis, the ongoing crisis that has been in the People's Democratic Party. We've heard, from the convention that they had to the last incident that happened in the FCT, where the party's secretariat was, sealed and all of that. We're here with former aspirant of the PDP in Kano State governorship election. I'm talking about 2013, right? 2019 and 2023. You're welcome,
Jafar
Sani Bello, to the conversation today.
It's a pleasure to have me here, Priscilla. Thank you very much.
It's such a delight to have you on Global Television this morning, sir. Okay, let's dive in straight to the conversation. Sir, what can we say about what is ongoing in the PDP at this point?
Well, أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وصلى الله على نبي الكريم. I'll first of all start by extending my heartfelt condolences to the people, government of Bauchi State, and especially to the governor of Bauchi State, His Excellency Governor Kaura of Bauchi State, over the demise of Islamic scholar of high reputation and esteem in the person of Sheikh Dahiru Bauchi, who passed at the age of almost over 100 years. May his soul rest in peace. And also my condolences and heartfelt sympathies to people that have been affected by the scourge of violence that has emanated from banditry, from kidnappings and what have you, from the north, south, east, west of the country. All the people that are suffering one kind of heartfelt aches over the insecurity situation in the country. My sympathies goes out to them. I would in no special regard also like to single out the government and people of Niger State and that of Kebbi State. Also my heartfelt sympathies to the people of the state. All right. You see, what is happening in the People's Democratic Party of Nigeria is something that is disheartening, something that is very, very uncalled for, because there is no way you have a vibrant democracy without an opposition. And my listeners and us all can remember what happened in the United States of America, which is called the Watergate scandal during the reigns of Richard Nixon. This happened just as a fallout of a burglary attempt that was orchestrated just to bug the National Committee of the Democratic Party's offices, so that the Republican Party or the Republican stalwarts will have an eardrop of what is going on in the Democratic Party of the United States of America. And that led to the resignation of Richard Nixon. This is in the same climb. But I am ashamed, and I have to say it with all sincerity, that the Nigerian police have those multi-layer barricades of barbed wire to use in sealing the offices of the People's Democratic Party, an affront on democracy. But they cannot use the same barbed wires to barricade the secondary schools that our children go to study. They cannot secure our primary and secondary school pupils in their schools, but they can deploy that amount of force and capacity in sealing the two offices of the People's Democratic Party, the one at Wadata Plaza and that of Legacy House. If the government of the day will devolve 10% of the effort it's putting in shutting down opposition political parties in Nigeria to insecurity. I would be bold to say that 50% of the insecurity issues that we're having in Nigeria would have been a thing of the past. But the massive resources, the massive architecture of security and its paraphernalia that is being deployed to strangulate, to silence opposition in Nigeria is an absolute shame. And we should know that all these things that are happening in this country are not things that are only seen and witnessed by Nigerians. It is seen and witnessed by the entire globe. Look at the sham that is happening in this country. How do you expect people from other countries to take us serious? Just recently, a significant entourage left the country just to go to the United Kingdom and negotiate with the Ministry of Justice for the release of the former Deputy Senate President in the person of Ekweremadu to come and finish his sentences, sentencing term in Nigeria. Which sane country would heed to that request? Just recently, in the 3 ambassadorial nominees that the president sent to the National Assembly for screening and confirmation, Mr. Oke, the former DG of the NIA, is a wanted man, supposedly wanted man, declared wanted by the Federal High Court of Nigeria, a competent court with competent jurisdiction in Lagos, for failing to appear before it to defend himself in allegations of corruption brought before that court by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission of the country. If the whole president of a country with a wave of a hand nominates somebody, try to give him immunity, someone that is facing allegations of corruption, someone that has even refused to heed to the summons of the court in absolute disregard to the laws of the land, as an ambassadorial nominee, who is going to take us serious? When you are sending somebody that is facing allegations of corruption on an ambassadorial assignment to represent the country, and you in another country, and at the same time you are requesting for another country to transfer a convict to you, who is going to take you serious with this kind of attitude? I don't think anybody will take us serious with this kind of attitude.
Well, this is an issue with the People's Democratic Party, and can we relate all of this to them? Because what we have mentioned right now is something done by the ruling party, which is the APC and its government, right? If the PDP were in that position, with the conflicts, with everything we see going on in the party, don't you think it will be worse? No, it can't be worse, because this is what the ruling party does not want. People to call out on its mistakes and sloppiness. And that is the fruit of democracy. Without a voice that will call out on the sloppiness, on the mistakes, on the missteps of an administration, then what we have is no longer a democracy. What we have is a draconian or an authoritarian regime. But in a democracy, there has to be someone that will call out of your mistakes. In 2015, I could vividly remember the former president of Nigeria, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, when he was in power, the convoy of an opposition figure was attacked. General Muhammadu Buhari of blessed memory. The federal government purchased and procured him armed mud vehicles and gave it to him to continue his opposition drive. This was then. This is the Nigeria that we had then. But look at the Nigeria we have now. The ADC is in crisis, the PDP is in crisis, the NNPP is in crisis. Every political party that has a stake in our democracy, that has an elected representative,
in our democracy is in crisis. There is division. The office of the National Security Advisor, the office of the Directorate of State Security Services, the office of the IG or police, they have concentrated all their intelligence, they have concentrated all their capacity, they have concentrated all their schedules, they have deployed all their resources, both manpower and financial, to stifling opposition in Nigeria. And let me tell you, you cannot stifle opposition in Nigeria because the vast majority of Nigeria's opposition now is not coming from political parties, but it's coming from the masses, on the road, on the streets, in schools, in banks, because they are seeing what is happening to their country. When you go on the street as a reporter now and question Nigerians, out of every 10, you can't get to one that is satisfied with the direction that the country is going now. So they should divert their attention, they should divert their deployment of resources, both financial and manpower, to the streets of Nigeria, so that they can silence those oppositions that are coming from the streets of Nigeria, that are being heard and seen all over the social media across the globe.
So are we blaming the current government for whatever is happening in the PDP right now?
Of course, this government has a hand in whatever is happening to the People's Democratic Party. But at the end of the day, we have been able to get our acts together. We have, despite all the hurdles that have been placed before us, we've been able to successfully conduct our elective national convention in the city of Ibadan. And it is a bright new day for us. We have a new leadership in place under the able and capable hands of Tanimu Traki, SAN, and we are moving steadily.
We saw that convention expel some members of the party, and afterwards we see two factions currently active. What do we say about that?
We can't say we have two factions currently active, because which is the other faction that is active? We have a leadership in the People's Democratic Party that was elected at the elective convention. We had the outgoing national chairman of the party there and his national working committee to usher in a new regime. They're all on ground. The delegates from across the nooks and crannies of this country, from the 36 states of the Federation, were there, and the new leadership has emerged. And I don't know from what process the leadership that you're talking about of a faction in the PDP evolved from, or got its mandate from. But we have a leadership that has the mandate of the convention, which is an elective convention, and it is that same convention that expelled people that it deemed unwanted characters in its midst.
Okay, let's leave that for a second. Let's talk about members of the party that have defected due to them citing poor leadership and lack of unity. What would you say about those people? And
well, it's poor leadership on their part because they have not been able to deliver the dividends of democracy to their people that will endear them to the people to vote them back into power. So they are trying to connive and have the federal might behind them so that the people will be cajoled, you understand, and restrained into having no alternative than to bring them back to power. So it is poor leadership or lack of leadership on the part of the DCAMPs, not on the part of the party.
Not on the part of the party.
Not on the part of the party.
Okay, with such visible internal strife, how realistic is it for the PDP come 2027?
Well, come 2027, that would be left to Nigerians. If Nigerians are happy, the likes of you and I, are happy with the way their country is being governed now, then we leave that to Nigerians to decide, because that is the beauty of democracy. But I assure you that with the looks of what is on ground now, with the kids and bandits, with the kids that bandits have kidnapped, with the scourge of violence across the length and breadth of this country, and I don't think that there is any possibility for the government of the APC reclaiming power or remaining in power beyond 2027. I don't see that possibility. And if they believe that stifling opposition parties is the way to go about it, I assure them that the Nigerian masses are too plentiful and too numerous to be cordoned off and cajoled into the side of the ruling party come 2027 general election. And let me tell you, we already have issues with the umpire. I don't see a situation whereby in Nigeria today we have as our INEC chairman somebody that has written a legal piece against the country, somebody that has ascribed a genocide to a religious faith group in Nigeria, somebody that has taken sides against the nation, to be put in the capacity to decide who wins an election in Nigeria, the same country that he has written a legal document and signed it by himself and sent it to a foreign government.
Okay, that was discovered.
That was discovered, Amupitan, and up till now, there is no response and no reply from his side, and the president has remained mute. And I'm telling him that the integrity of the National Electoral Body is at stake, because we have someone in the position of the chairman of that electoral body who does not believe in one Nigeria, who has undermined and orchestrated missions to undermine the sovereignty, integrity, and peace of this nation.
Well, is it not obvious that there's no, the peace is lacking?
Of course.
With everything we see playing out.
Yeah, of course.
It's visible.
Peace, yeah, it's visible. Peace is lacking. But peace is not lacking on the side of one faith in Nigeria. Peace is lacking on the entire scope of Nigerians. Christians are dying, Muslims are dying, faithless people are dying. But when you have somebody writing a legal opinion stating that there is an orchestrated plan to eliminate a certain faith in Nigeria, every Nigerian knows that that is a lie. And you have someone of that caliber as the chairman of an electoral body that is going to be the decider of who wins an election to become the president, governor, the House of Representatives, senator in Nigeria. That kind of a person will definitely bring bias to bear in that office of the national chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, because he's already a biased mind. Anybody that will say there is a Christian genocide in Nigeria is already a biased mind. And how can you have such a person as the chairman of the electoral body of a country? That person should be behind bars by now.
Well, he is there, and is there anything we can do about
yes,
what exactly?
That's what we can do. Then that is what is not wanted from us. As an opposition party, we are calling on the government to rescind the appointment of the Independent National Electoral Commission chairman, Mr. Amupitan, for his role in the legal opinion he drafted, signed, and sent to the United States of America. That is a treacherous act that is perpetrated by a person that has lost any moral ground to be the chairman of our Independent National Electoral Commission.
Don't you think the PDP is, citing blames from where it's not supposed to cite blames? Because this is the party we're talking about. There's an internal problem, and sometimes when I see PDP members, most of what they try to project is that this is coming from external forces. Don't you think that it can be rethought and looked into, seeing it from the perspective of this is our party? The Wike faction or the people that we say are causing this have been in the PDP ever since. It took them so long to be able to act. Is it that they were hoping for some kind of benefits from these members, and at the end of the day they see that it's not working and decide to take action? Well,
you have mentioned his name. I'm too big a person to call the name of that character that you have just made mention of. But how internal is the multi-layer barricades of barbed wire that have been placed and cordoned off to cordon off the offices of the People's Democratic Party? How internal is leading and commandeering staffs of the Federal Capital Development Authority to go and enforce an order of tenement, or what do you call, land rate, to seize the People's Democratic Party's office? It's just like going to the church or going to the mosque to demand that you are closing down the mosque or you are closing down the church because it hasn't paid its land rate. These are bodies that are offering social services. The People's Democratic Party office is an office that is providing social services in the form of participating in a democratic process. And you are leading members of your staff to go and cordon the office and coming to shout to the whole world that you are seizing the office, you are taking over the office because the office has failed to pay its tenement rate. Why didn't you check on the office of the APC? Has it been able to pay its tenement rates over the years that it has been in existence? Well, these are things that no matter how you try to deviate, you have to see the external hands, and the external hands are glaringly clear that those hands are the fingers and foots and hands of Mr. President and his associates. Clearly, because if the president is not interested in the happenings that are happening now in the country, there is no way it's going to happen. Just look at example. The president gave a directive that all policemen that are on VIP services should be recalled.
Yes.
And the IGP of police, whose tenure in office is somehow illegal because he is a retiree.
Okay.
He's a retiree. Somehow illegal. He is still occupying that office despite the fact that his term of service has lapsed. And the president is not more powerful than the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. It's the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria that says somebody will be elected to serve as the president of the country for so term, and he will be the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. So the president cannot be more powerful than the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. If the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria says that his term in office has expired, his time in service has lapsed, nobody can say otherwise. But we have a country whereby the Constitution and the rule of law is not taken serious, and people are just doing what they like at the day and time that is available to them. He decided to only recall 12 or is it 13,000 policemen from such duties and services. And I'm telling you, I have told so many people that that order of the president cannot be implemented. Yes, it cannot be implemented. Why? You have about 100,000 policemen on such duties and assignment with the rate of just 2,000 naira per day. That is an industry of over 200 million naira per day. Which IGP of police is going to shut it down? With the state of corruption that we have in this country now.
We've seen police officers, being recalled.
Now you have seen only 13,000, or is it 12,000? That's a fraction of the number. We are talking about 100,000 policemen on such duties, carrying handbags of her Excellency, her Honorable's wife, her Senator, Mr. Distinguished Senator's wife, escorting children of Distinguished Senator, Right Honorable to school, staying there until they close from school and escorting them back to school. What kind of a country are we living in?
Okay, sir. Let's talk about you. You were once, the former PDP youth leader. What's the impact of this crisis on young Nigerians who see the PDP as a political home or hope? It's
diminishing hope for Nigerians. Young Nigerians' hopes are diminishing, and it is increasing the rate and speed of japa that we're having in this country, because once the young Nigerians see the act that these oligarchs, octogenarians are displaying, they lose hope in their country and they seek refuge elsewhere, and that is why they are leaving the country in their droves.
How does PDP intend to reconcile aggrieved members?
Well, the reconciliation process is ongoing, is on track, and the reconciliation process is something that is unending, is elastic. It's something that does not have a time frame, does not have a time limit, and we have confidence in the leadership of Kabir Tanimu Turaki, SAN, in steering the ship of the party in the right direction and reconciling all aggrieved party members within the shortest possible period of time. We'll see that happening, and I assure you that reconciliation is a process that has to be ongoing. It's not a process that you start and stop. It's going to be a process that will oversee the life and span of the political party, that's the People's Democratic Party, for as long as it's in existence, because there is always somebody that will be aggrieved, there is always somebody that will be displeased, and we would not like to lose a member who is solidly behind the party and who is a loyal member of the party.
We've lost loyal members of the party, with time passed. So are we going to go back to them, to reconcile, or do we just work with the existing members that are currently in the party?
No, we have existing members in the party who are aggrieved, and we are approaching them and everybody in the party is doing his bit, and he's tidying his pieces to make sure that all the people that were at one time or another aggrieved by one thing or another are brought back to the fold of the party. Those are people that are going to contribute to the advancement, to the development, and to the progress of the party itself. And no effort will be spared in that direction in ensuring that these people are brought back to the folds of the party.
How can the party fill the vacuum left by 7 governors who have defected to the APC?
The party will mobilize Nigerians, and during the electoral process of 2027 in a legal way, the People's Democratic Party will reclaim its mandate in the states of the governors that have defected to another political party. So we are going to work with Nigerians, most especially citizens of those states and indigents of those states who will go to the polls on election day to vote out those people that have failed woefully, because usually when you see a democratically elected governor defecting from one political party to another, that absolutely gives you a clear direction of its lack of any capacity to impact on the life and livelihood of the people he is governing.
Don't you think at some point it is beneficial for that state for the governor to defect?
It can be beneficial for the governor to defect
for the state.
If a person has an upright moral standing, you can't be elected on the platform of a political party. The mandate is given to that political party, not you. It is the political party that fielded you. But just because you are a governor, you believe and deemed it fit, and you defect to another political party, it shows that you have been unable to live up to the expected standards that the people have seen and voted you for.
One would argue that at this age, we should be concerned about the politics of personality and not just party politics.
Well, you can't separate the two, because we are in a multi-democratic democratic system which does not give room or grounds for an independent candidate. But you cannot devolve the character of the person, the personality of the person, from that of the political party. The people that are members of the political party, the people that are in the leadership structure and architecture of the political party, are persons with high integrity, and they are people that are role models to others. So it is the personality and character of those people that also entice other people to join the folds of the political party as members. So you cannot separate the two. Definitely the character and personality of the people that are members of the political party goes a long way in assisting the image of the party itself.
If an Atiku Abubakar decides to defect back to the PDP,
he is very much welcome.
Do you think the PDP will give him the support?
Of course, he is very much welcome. Anybody that has left the People's Democratic Party, is it Peter Obi, is it Atiku Abubakar, everybody, with the exception of those that our national convention have expelled, those ones, they have to wait for another national convention to reconsider their status. But those that have left the party on their own volition, on their own accord, are welcome back at any time.
Isn't it contradicting what you have said now, saying that people that have gone to other parties, have a questionable, or should be seen as people that have questionable character, because you have left a party, defected for some kind of gain, and then that person deciding to come back to the party? Is it not, biased with what you have said?
Well, it's just like the saying goes, when the sinner repents,
okay,
you have no option than to accept his repentance. If they come back to their senses and believe that the direction or the path they had taken is the wrong path, and decided to revert back to their previous position as rejoin the People's Democratic Party, they will be welcomed, because we cannot continue to adjudge them as sinners. And if you remember the sayings of Chief Adams or Shomole, that every sinner that joins the APC is no longer a sinner. So if you have sinned by leaving the People's Democratic Party, and you come back to your senses and believe that you have made the wrong choice and you have taken the wrong direction, you have followed the wrong direction, we will welcome you back and continue to live with you as a member of the party in a brotherly manner.
Okay, so I talked to our viewers about the 10-day ultimatum issued to your party by Governor Sule Lamido to get its act together, as well as what it means for the party's unity and leadership.
You see, His Excellency Alhaji Sule Lamido is an elder statesman by his own right, and in any light, you would not take his words for granted. And I believe he is too loyal a party man to bring division or to take steps that will be divisive to the progress of the party. I believe what he is saying is heard by the leadership of the party, and I believe the right steps will be taken to placate whatever steps that he might be willing to take in terms of the the expiration of the term, expiration of the ultimatum he must have given. And I believe he will come back to the folds and the ranks of file of the political party, because he is a party man and he has always believed in the party, and he is one of the most loyal members of the party that you can call off today. He has been in the party since 1998. I think he is a founding member. He has been in the party from G34 to date, and so I don't see him doing anything that is going to be inimical to the progress, stability, and prospects of the political party. I don't see that.
So if you were interested with leading a renewal initiative inside the PDP, what 3 reforms would you prioritize to restore unity and credibility?
Well, I believe the most important thing is the rule of law. And I believe the current leadership has that in mind. And the rule of law, when it comes to, treating all members of the party as equal members of the party, and not giving preferential treatments to anybody, given a level playing field, being free and fair. I think that's the most cardinal rule that will ensure prospect and success to the party, to the People's Democratic Party as a party.
Is there any role that the grassroots or grassroots mobilization can play in healing the party, or is it deeper? Is it a deeper structural reform that is needed?
No. We don't need any structural reform. When we went to the National Convention, there were some amendments that were voted for and accepted by the National Convention. And I think, as the saying goes, every politics is local. And you cannot underestimate the role of the grassroots in shaping the terrain or the political space. And no effort would be spared from that direction, bearing in mind the very, very important and fundamental role, and critical role that the grassroots plays in any political dispensation. So we are going to strive as much as possible to see that our grassroots mobilization mechanism is up and doing, and is up to task.
From your view, from your perspective, given the party crisis across all political parties right now in Nigeria, do you see a rise in voter apathy?
Well, with the way things are going now, the Nigerian voters are going to be ever more interested in ensuring that they cast their votes, so that they pass their ultimate judgment on the people that they have voted in the past to lead them. I don't think we would see that much voter apathy in the coming 2027 election, because a lot of interest has been generated by the deteriorating security, by the deteriorating economic status, by the deteriorating foreign image of the country. A lot has been lost and a lot has been missed. So that, I think, will serve as an impeding motivation for people to come out and make their voices heard.
Okay. How realistic is that? And what are the steps that the People's Democratic Party are taking, towards restoring hope for voters out there?
Well, the Nigerian people know what the People's Democratic Party stood for, and is still standing on. It's fairness, equity, and justice. That's what the People's Democratic Party stood for, stands for, and is still standing for. And Nigerians have witnessed the 16 years of the People's Democratic Party administration, or the 16 years of People's Democratic Party rule. The People's Democratic Party has been able to stabilize democracy in Nigeria. First of all, transitioning from one administration to another administration, then transitioning from an administration to a new administration, then transitioning from one political party to another political party. The People's Democratic Party has steered the ship of democracy in Nigeria into a full-blown circle, and we have gone through the courses of stability and ensured that we were not caught asleep in any of them. We lost the elections in 2015 and we willingly handed over power to the opposition party. Chief Olusegun Obasanjo was re-elected in 2003, completed his term in 2007, handed over power to Alhaji Umar Musa Yar'Adua of blessed memory. Alhaji Umar Musa Yar'Adua served his term of 2 years, passed on. And before his passing, the People's Democratic Party saw the crisis that was in the system, enshrined the doctrine of necessity, which made Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan an acting president, and thereafter was sworn in as substantive president, won the election in 2011, was sworn in, lost the election in 2015, and handed over power. So Nigerians will always remember that the People's Democratic Party has never put its ambition above the safety, well-being, and wellness of Nigerians. But now we have a government that is putting its ambition ahead of the wellness and well-being of Nigerians.
Talking about former President Goodluck Jonathan, the rumors have it that he is planning a comeback in 2027. How true is that?
Well, if Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan will plan to run in 2027, first and foremost, he will have my support, unwavering support, full support. And secondly, I assure him that it's going to be a run, and it's going to be a run that will be very, very, very successful.
Do you think the party members would also have same point of view?
I believe so. I believe so, because this is somebody that has a track record. This is somebody that has governed this country, and everybody has witnessed what he was able to do with the economy, what he was able to do with security, what he was able to do with the image of the nation globally. He is just returning back from Guinea-Bissau. He's now an electoral umpire across the African continent, and wherever he goes in the globe, he receives accolade. We have a president who has shied away from attending the United Nations General Assembly on 2 consecutive occasions. We have in President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan somebody that will restore the lost glory of Nigeria.
Okay, so are we saying that at this point PDP does not have a consensus on its candidate for 2027 yet?
Well, People's Democratic Party is a political party that believes in the freedom of choice, and anybody that wants to aspire for the office of the president is free to do so. And at the end of the day, when we go for our elective convention to elect our candidates of the party, whoever emerged, will call on the rest of the people that have expressed interest to come back to the fold, support the person that has emerged as a candidate to ensure victory at the polls.
Are you running for any position in 2027?
Well, we'll give that to 2027 to come. I never decided to run in 2019. 2019 came and I decided to run. 2023, not before the time, but when the time came, I decided to run. So we'll leave that to 2027, maybe in the second quarter of next year.
Okay, so during our conversation, you said the PDP emphatically that there are no 2 factions. Are you saying that we're not expecting any future drama coming from, expelled members and all the people that have posed as a faction of the PDP?
Once you are expelled from the party, you are no longer a stakeholder in the party. And once you are expelled in the party, you are not expected to enjoy any privileges from the party. So those people that have been expelled from the party have been expelled from the party, and they have no stake in the party. So that's why I say to you that, and you could remember that the motion for the expulsion of these characters was moved by an eminent personality in the person of Dr. Chief Bode George.
Okay. So the expelled members, how have they reacted? Have they tried to, petition the decision?
I don't expect any reaction from them, because these are people that said the party is dead. So if the party is dead and the party has decided to expel you, abort you, you understand, as an unwanted child, and then what other effort would you put to say, okay?
So we've not seen any reaction towards the party leaders.
Well, what kind of reaction do you expect from them? These are people that have already been expelled from the party, and they have said that the party is a dead party. They said we are going to a party, not a convention in Ibadan. So what other words or what other issues would they have with the convention that they said is not going to hold a held, and expel them from the party? Are they going to still continue to stick there? They are unwanted characters in the party. We have done away with them. We have thrown the baby and the bathwater at the same time. So we are rebuilding. We are trying to fetch a new clean water. We have done away with the dirty water from the bath of the baby and the baby itself. So I think they should just find themselves a new home.
Okay, so what has the PDP done about its offices that have been sealed?
Well, we are following all legal options that are available to us as a party that believes in the rule of law, and as a party that abides by the rule of law. We are going to do everything within the constitutional framework and within the legal framework to secure the premises of our offices, so that we can continue our activities as a political party, as an opposition political party for that matter.
And how long are we looking at?
Well, we can't say for certain if the authorities will do the right thing and they will heed to their inner conscience and know that they are stifling and they are doing great injustice to this nation. And this is the greatest injustice that you can do to Nigeria's democracy, is by you trying to stifle opposition of a political party that allowed you free space to oppose it, and lost power to you and handed over power to you. So this will be a great disservice to this nation, and I hope President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will not allow himself to be derailed, to go down the lane of history as somebody who has tried to stifle democracy and evolve Nigeria into a one-party system, which is a failed project right from inception.
Okay, so before we go, what are your concerns, or maybe the PDP, the party's concern for against 2027?
Well, our party's concern against 2027 is basically not far from the kind of character that has been put in place to lead the National Electoral Body. This is a character that should be standing trial for treasonous act against the nation. And now he's somebody that has been put in charge to be an electoral umpire. We call on the president to rescind this decision, to remove this person from office and get a better person that would serve as the chairman of the electoral body, somebody that would have some level of integrity and some level of character in him, and some level of love for the nation, somebody that has some level of patriotism in him. But if you look at this man, Amopitan, he lacks any tendency of patriotism in him, because if he has the slightest iota, an atom of patriotism in him, he wouldn't have sat down to pen that legal opinion and send it to the United States of America. There's just no way he would have done that. He's somebody that is absolutely biased. He is somebody that lacks patriotism, and he is unfit to be the chair of the Independent National Electoral Commission.
We had PDP members when he was screened, in the House of Rep. We have some PDP members in the House of Rep. How come we didn't hear all of this?
Well, some of these things came to bear when the DSS failed to do its duty, because it was not following one opposition leader or one opposition political party. They were asleep, they were aslumber, they failed to do their due diligence, they failed to do their background checks, and it's only from a news channel that report emanated, and that document surfaced in the internet, and it was all over in the social media, and it became viral, and there is no denial. So lack of the denial is an acceptance of that fact that he was the person that pinned down that legal document, signed it, and pended his seal on it and sent it to the United States of America. That is a treasonable act.
Well, we look forward to hearing, from him to give him the chance, to deny all of this.
It has taken so long. If he has any
basically,
denial or rebuttal, he should have issued it since.
We are still hopeful, and 2027 is still, far away, and we can keep lending our voices until the right things are done. I want to say a very big thank you to you, sir, for gracing our screen this morning. It has been an insightful conversation, and we are hopeful that the whole saga, the PDP drama, has come to an end, as you have said. We don't look forward to any more dramas, any more banters, and looking forward to a successful 2027 elections with every political party playing its role, with every political party being, playing fairly, and, the victors emerged based on merit. Thank you once again, Honorable Jangfa, for coming on the show with us today. Global Morning continues. Viewers, I hope you have been enlightened. The conversation continues with Uyi Abumofebe as he joins us for the next segment. Please don't go anywhere.